Hey everyone, just going to show you this badass day of training I had at Barbell Brigade in Los Angeles, California, yesterday, the day after Thanksgiving, possibly the greatest day to set PRs. And when you come to a sweet facility that has great equipment and a great environment and very focused lifters, everyone driven to the same goal, you are bound to set PRs. So you'll see me do a whole bunch of squatting, a whole bunch of benching, and even just a little bit of deadlifting on this day. Set a few PRs, some of them with belt, some of them without a belt, some of them without a shirt. So that's what you got in store for you. How you like that? Consider yourselves lucky. I'm not even charging for that. So this right here is a 405 high bar pause squat without a belt, wearing my Colorado Rockies hat and that Iron Rebel baseball t-shirt, and those add at least 50 to 75 pounds to my abilities, no doubt. It's a multi-ply hat we're talking about there, so I mean that's gains central. That's basically not natty. So here is 315 with a long pause, a beautiful pause right there. And you'll see that bench, the racks are just a little bit too low. I can't adjust them like the bench in the background, but hey, I'm not going to be too picky. I'm just going to set up on the bench and do what I can do. So this right here is 335. Look at that pause right there. I mean, that's forever long. Hope you didn't fall asleep because that was all day long pause. This is 345. So if you guys remember back at IPL Worlds, I failed a 347 bench because it wasn't smooth. The pause was pretty long on that. The head judge, he was being strict, to say the least. And so I didn't get that 347 bench. So this is 345, and you know what? I like it. The pause is much longer than in competition, and it went up smooth, slow but smooth. Pretty stoked about that. And with all this higher frequency of benching that I'm doing, I'm beginning to dial in my form, dial in what I'm doing wrong, and just make slow, steady progress. And doing these extra long pauses is teaching me to stay super insanely tight when the bar is on my chest. And that's training me to really get my lats involved in that process. And that is huge in the bench. I'm not saying it actually presses the bar for you, but if your lats are weak and you're not engaging them properly, I'm going to go ahead and say you're not benching as much as you could be. So after that benching, I went over to the good squat rack. It's got the safeties in here. It's got like the 2-inch or 1-inch hole spacings. It's pretty awesome. And using the good squat bar. And before I loaded up all this weight, I didn't realize that the squat bar was 55, not 45 pounds. And so all this was 10 pounds heavier than what I had thought. And that just goes to show that the mindset, your mind game, is really what's going to prevent you from making mad gains. Because this right here was 455 on the bar, and I thought it was 445. And I think the most I ever pause squatted before, I think, is something like maybe 415 pounds, somewhere in that neighborhood. So this is 445, and the reason why I hadn't just done a whole bunch of pause work before is because I sort of laid off it for a long time, so I knew I was much more capable, and today was going to be the day that I push my belted low bar pause squat to the limits. Just take a look at real quick how enormous this guy is. This dude is gigantic, and I'm not sure if he was miring or checking out his phone, but if he was miring, man, I'm stoked because that dude is enormous. This is 465 on the bar right here with that really good pause, maybe 2 seconds solid down in the hole. Came up smooth, not a whole lot of fight in there. That's just like 36 pounds less than my best squat in competition. My best squat ever. I've done 501 at IPL Worlds, and that was 465. Paused, feels really good making that progress. Now we got the peanut butter jelly time, deadlift, and that's because look at that bloat. Shirt came off because it was pretty hot in there. This is maybe around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had been breaking a serious sweat for about 2 hours. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take my shirt off for this, give these people a pretty nice show. So you guys can go ahead and donate to my PayPal because Daddy needs his protein money. You know what I mean? So working up on these, this is a deadlift bar, so it's got that extra whip. It's nice to pull with these things, I ain't gonna lie to you, it certainly adds to your abilities. I'm not exactly sure how much though. I couldn't give you a standard unit of deviation from a deadlift bar to a IPF bar, but it's noticeable. We'll say that. So I've never really trained beltless deadlifts for, well, since Jacked and Tan, and even then that was for higher reps, higher volume, not heavy weights. So this is my heaviest no belt deadlift, 550 pounds, and I feel pretty good about it. Came up smooth. Got a little bit of like a cramp in my left medial glute area. Still a little bit achy today, the day after. So I'm just gonna have to foam roll the crap out of that, and maybe take my car buffer to my glute, because that thing it's amazing. So after those deadlifts, came back to the squat rack. I wanted to get a little bit of volume in, something very low volume with pretty low weights. So this right here is 325, because again I'm using that squat bar, and I'm just doing 3x3 high bar no belt. And this is just to kind of just get a little bit of extra work in before I leave the gym. I had been there maybe 3 hours or something like that. It was a great place to be, great environment at Barbell Brigade, and I know for certain that just the environment itself helped add some pounds to my abilities on this day. And training environment is huge. So if you guys are ever in LA, or maybe if there's like a more hardcore gym around where you're at and you're kind of doubting you going there and lifting there, then have no doubts. Just go ahead, go there, train. You're going to get stronger. It's going to be worth it. You might feel a little self-conscious at first or whatever because maybe you're a novice, but you know what? It's going to accelerate your training. It's going to accelerate your progress so much better than just going to 24-hour fitness and trying to get your squats in, watching some cardio bunnies on the ellipticals, and you're not focused. No one else around you is focused, and the training environment is just garbage. So that's a huge positive benefit to training at some place like Barbell Brigade. So thanks guys for having me there yesterday. Y'all were awesome. I made a few jokes about Myron in this video, but straight up I was Myron a whole lot myself, because there was a lot of strong dudes there and some pretty strong chicks. So it was a great place to be. Thanks for having me.
Just got done training at Barbell Brigade. Hit some massive PRs with belted, beltless pause squats, a beltless deadlift, a badass long pause 345 bench. I'm pretty hungry right now, so I'm gonna go to this Carnitas Michoacan, which I heard great things about, and destroy myself some post-Thanksgiving burritos. It's gonna be awesome.
Check this out. We got some ham, turkey, stuffing, macaroni and cheese, candied yams, some cranberry sauce in there, and just look at this. It's like a work of art.